singing for my supper. I'm above the below and below the upper. I'm stuck in the middle where money gets tight, but I guess I'm doing all right.
You're listening to Alive and Well, and I'm Tracey Gold, and I'm here with Janice Murray on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. And we have a wonderful guest today, and her name is Crystal Lacey Edwards, and we're talking about the benefits of exercise. And, you know, during the break, I was asking Crystal and talking to her about the fact that I think that, you know, there is a large obese community population in our country, and I think so many people think that it's just too late to get out there and exercise. And, like, you know, you think of exercise, you think of it being this really vigorous thing, and they're like, I can't do that. It's too late for me. I can't even. I have a hard enough time just getting up from the couch, and I just think that, you know, when I was asking you, it's so important just to get up in 15 minutes of walking, you know,
right,
will do so much for somebody. And I would just love you to address that and how important that is.
Okay, that's a really good one, Tracey, because my whole life I've heard people say, well, I've got to lose 15 pounds before I go to the gym. And I'm like,
that's so silly.
What?
Right.
But it's true. You do hear that because people are, and you
before you go to the
and
gym.
you don't
Right.
even have to be obese. It's some people who have it in their mind that they don't look the way they think they should.
They could never show
right?
up to a gym, yeah.
So they don't have the confidence or the will to want to go to a gym. It is super easy to increase what you're doing. You even mentioned 15 minutes, and I know a lot of people who can't even do 15 minutes. You know, I have a friend who is in her 40s, and she's obese, and I've worked with her just going to the mailbox outside of her house twice. You know, it is some
Yeah.
really low steps that people are just they're embarrassed that they can't do it, but they really can't, and so they kind of give up. But the bottom line is 10 extra steps today, 12 extra steps tomorrow, the next day. It's just building up and building up. And if you get up to 15 minutes of walking, so you can walk to the end of your block and back, not around the block the first time, because you need to know what you can and cannot do, right? And you build up to that little by little by little. But the benefits are there. For 5 to 10% of weight loss, you reduce your risk of heart disease, of some of the cancers that are out there. Even obese people can be osteoporotic, you know, because they're not moving enough and they're not getting what they need nutrient-wise. So you can make big, huge improvements just by starting.
And the funny thing is that I discovered it firsthand is that the body really does listen and respond. I mean,
Body's magnificent.
You know, I talk about running and that I'd never run before in my life. When I first started, I couldn't run.
Right.
There was no way. I walked. I've been a walker my whole life, but I couldn't run. And so I just started gradually, maybe did like 10 minutes. And it was like so hard. But I was like, am I ever really going to be able to do a full hour? And all of a sudden my body really did listen. It was really like exciting to know that body does respond, and it's really never too late to start something.
That's right. Your body does respond. The body is a magnificent machine, which is one of the reasons you need to join her and go do the Zumba class.
Because
I will. No, but
Everyone's going to laugh at me.
But I'm
such a
we'll be in the
dancer.
back.
yeah, we'll be in the back. We'll laugh at
Everybody will
each
be
other.
fine.
I laugh
Okay.
at myself. But
have to.
it's supposed to be fun. And laughter, oh my goodness, laughter is good for you. So if you laugh all the way through Zumba, who cares?
Right,
It's
right,
good
right.
for you.
Okay.
But the point is the cross training. So if you're a runner doing Pilates, if you're a Pilates person going out and walking, you know, you need the cardiovascular, which is the walking and the running, the swimming, the dancing, that kind of thing that makes you kind of breathe heavy.
Well-rounded with your
right?
exercise.
You really
Yes.
do need to be well-rounded, because strength trainers, you know, they could be muscle and strong and really be able to do what they do, and they would come into an aerobic class or a Pilates class and they would be dying. It's called specificity of training, so it's definitely there.
Do you ever see the bodybuilders? And
Oh,
they're
and they're, like,
bulked
huge
up,
on
and
top.
then they put these little tiny skinny
I
legs.
hate that.
Well,
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my funniest peeves. My whole life, that is so true. They have the great upper bodies, and their legs are just like, really? But
They forget about their legs.
they also forget
no
about their
offense,
hearts.
bodybuilders, but
Don't forget about your legs, bodybuilders.
we noticed.
That's right.
But don't forget your heart
That's
too,
key,
because
that's key.
you need to get that well-rounded cardiovascular strength. I mean, you're strengthening those biceps, and if you're getting really bulky and you're not doing the cardiovascular with it, you could actually not benefit your heart.
Right.
You could also increase your blood pressure. I mean, there's some things out there that would be not great for doing the same thing over and over. As in heavy weight training, you need to keep that heart as well conditioned as those biceps. It's the same thing throughout, but it is piecing it together piece by piece. If you're not comfortable going to a gym, okay, fine. Walk around your backyard.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're moving, and even standing versus sitting, makes a difference because you actually use muscles standing that you don't when you're sitting, right?
You're taking the stairs rather than the
Yes,
elevator.
or parking at the end of the parking lot and walking in. There are a lot of different things that you can do to get exercise in your busy schedule. You know, there are lots of ways to do that.
When I was younger and I didn't have 4 kids that I had to provide for, and it was just me,
Right.
my form of exercise would be to like go to the mall and go shopping.
Oh,
Girl after my
No,
own
totally.
heart.
it works. Do it.
does.
But you can't. But you can't stop at every window and buy. You have to
No.
keep
I know.
walking.
That-
There is a little
just kidding.
couple.
No, it's true. kidding.
There's a little couple that walks the mall every Monday
Oh,
when
yes.
I'm doing the nonprofit spotlight show, and he
I
told me
know
they're
who
like
they are.
72.
Yes.
You know them.
I know them.
And
They-
they've been doing it
yep.
for like 12, 13 years.
Okay.
They walk 4
They're
miles.
adorable.
In-
They're adorable.
4 miles in the
and
gym.
I bet you that
I
helps
mean, the mall.
them to stay healthy,
Sure.
to stay energetic. They've got
And
a cute little bond. They
connected,
hold
'cause
hands,
they're-
and they're adorable.
Not only that, there are malls in different parts of the country. I don't know so much about here, but they actually have groups that
Mall
are
walker
organized.
programs. Yes,
They are
absolutely.
programs, and so you can do
Absolutely.
that. Then
You
you're
can
not in
always
the
fit
heat.
your exercise to what
Yes,
you
and
like.
that's
They're
what I
not
love
in the
about them because
heat.
they're older. We don't want them outside in the
Right,
heat. They're
right.
indoors, and there's food if they need it, or drink or water,
Or somebody
whatever.
to help if something were
Somebody
to
help
happen.
If something were
Yeah.
to happen, but they do it consistently, and they are my role models. I
Yeah.
love them.
So
Have to stop
funny,
and say
yep.
hello to them every week, every Monday. They just make me feel so happy.
Right. It's
You
it's
know?
true. When I first started, I used to work in cardiac rehab, and for me to see the difference between the people who were in cardiac rehab, and I could even look at it in my own family, people who were really active, they may not have exercised and walked, but they were physical laborers versus people who didn't move. And I mean move, I'm talking about they were always sitting. They weren't doing the dishes and walking around and stuff like that. But there was a huge difference. So I was sold way, way early that I want to move until I am the day I die. I want to be able to move till the day I die.
Well said.
Yeah,
we are
absolutely.
here on Alive and Well. Tracey Gold and Crystal Edwards. Crystal, that is my
There we go.
motivation. That's
Yeah.
my motivation. We will be right back on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Canyon.